This is my very first episode. Oh my goodness, y'all. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about grief, the ugly truth of grief, how heavy grief is, how grief when somebody passed away, that's simply the grief I'm talking about. I'm not getting to that grief where life is not how you intended, or relationship that you're still grieving. That's not this episode. But I am talking about the grief of those close to us who has transitioned in life, the ones that has passed on, and this hole in our heart that is left, that person once filled. How grief is so unpredictable at times. It comes at the worst time. It comes out of nowhere. You get sad and remember that person out of nowhere. And a lot of times we don't know how to process it. A lot of times we don't know how to release those emotions. We don't know who to go to, how to even talk about it, how to express ourselves. Some of us might just allow that sadness to overtake our bodies, and we just stay in this room all day, a dark room, doing the same things, binge watching the show, just being kind of just not being productive at all. And I've learned that through grief, because I lost my grandmother on my dad's side. The next day my mom passed away, and about 8 months later my great grandmother passed away. And my great grandmother was the woman who raised me. And I just remember in those moments of trying to even learn how to live without them, it was so hard. And I remember being that person that was stuck in my room all the time, binge watching Grey's Anatomy and just on my laptop playing Sims all day long. I didn't have a job that I was going to clocking into. And even when I did start back working a year later, my job became that place where it's like I kind of ran from my emotions. It became that place where I didn't fully deal with my emotions or actually like release them. Because even when I was working my job, Mother's Day came around, Christmas came around, and I still moved throughout life like nothing had. Well, I can't say nothing had happened, but I still moved in life where it's like the weight of it took over in a way. But when I showed up at work, I showed up like nothing had happened. But outside of work, I just broke down. Which I'm not that type of person that's gonna break down at work anyway, though. But grief can't, like I said, grief is ugly. It happens at the most random times where we think about this person. We have this hole in our heart where they used to be at. Our minds are constantly filled with the memories that we have of that person. And knowing that we cannot create new memories with this person, we cannot create a new and improved life with this person now. And it's like, dang. But that's also not the end of the world, though. Like, something I've learned, because it's been 3 years now since the passing of those major women in my life, but I've learned that life doesn't stop when somebody passes away. Life doesn't stop when somebody passes away, but it does slow down. There is a huge bump in the road. There's an old version of us that also died when that person passed away as well. And I've learned to look at this as a moment to not just mourn what I don't have with that person no more, but to look at this as an opportunity to carry my mother and my great grandmother and my grandmother in my heart, to know that in every room that I'm in, they're there as well. Everything I do, like here I am starting my podcast, something I've been putting off for quite some time, but I know that they're in this space with me because I choose to carry them in my heart. And I've learned that within life, it's all about carrying people in our hearts and just continuously going, no matter what. And this thing called life can be crazy, weird, and awkward, especially when we don't have them with us. But the thing about it is that we must keep going. Even though the people that was once in our lives on a level where we can see them, I was at a point where I can see my mother, I can hug my mother, I can laugh with my mother. But after she passed away, that sent me all the way back. First and foremost, that sent me all the way back, and it sent me to a deep, dark place that nobody could get me out of it but God. And I had to also realize nobody is coming to save me. Nobody is coming to save me. No matter if my mother did impact other people's lives, no matter if my mom was a daughter, was a sister, things like that. The people who also lost my mother, they also lost my mother. You know, like, they didn't lose a mother, but they lost a sister, they lost a daughter. So I also look at it as like, people don't always look at people to come and save you out of your darkness, out of your heaviness, out of your burdens. People can come, your friends, they can come and make the situation lighter, be there to support you. But it's a choice for us to get up and move. It is a choice for us to not allow that grief to paralyze us, to make us weak, to make us stuck, and simply paralyze us, like I said. I've learned that I had to lean on God in a way that I never even thought I could lean on God. And God showed up in a way that I didn't even imagine God could show up in. The amount of peace God gave me in that season when I lost my mother and my grandmother and my great-grandmother, and I don't know if I said this, but it's my grandmother on my dad's side. But just how God just stepped in, and God became my parent, but God became my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. God is the one who, when the weight of grief was so heavy, God is the one that whispered in my ear and told me, go for a walk. God is the one that nudged my spirit and told me to have that conversation with my cousin, to talk about whatever. And even as, yet alone in the year 23, because that's the year it happened, well, that's the year that they passed, in 2023. But outside of just that, God also nudged my heart in 24 to talk to certain people, or in 25 to start going to therapy, and also in 26 to attend a church that I absolutely love, and to also speak about certain things, and to literally seek advice, seek wise counsel, talk to people. Because a lot of times when we talk about the emotion, that is helping us process it, that is helping us release it. We must feel it. And something I live by is feel what you feel when you feeling what you feeling. Please. Because if we because I'm not gonna take myself out of this, okay? But if we allow ourselves to feel what we feel, and not run to substances, not run to a person and be in their bed and just distractions. Because at the end of the day, a lot of things can be distractions for us. I'm not quick to pick up my phone and go on social media and just talk about what I'm feeling, or even just get on social media when I'm in those deep, dark, sad moments and just scroll. There has been times I've done that, but God has also nudged my heart like, John, get off that. Feel what you feeling when you feeling what you feeling. Please. Because it also helps our body understand, like, okay, I know what this emotion is. Because when it come back, because it's going to come back, those moments of sadness, of maybe even anger, of this lonely feeling as well, we're gonna feel those moments again. But if we don't feel it in that moment, then when it do come back, it's gonna feel brand new all over again, because you keep dishing those emotions out. You continue to try to be strong. Something I remember people telling me, oh, you gotta be strong for your grandmother, you gotta be strong for your brothers, you gotta be strong for this person, that person. No, baby, I want to be strong enough to be weak. That became the goal for me, to be strong enough to be weak, because there's no need to be afraid or ashamed of being in a state of sadness. We all go through it. We all have been sad about something outside of somebody passing away, but we've all experienced sadness. And even when we become an adult, these emotions that we felt as a kid, we thought that was something, baby. As an adult, oh my goodness, it just amplifies. Okay, we can be sad because of whatever little minor reason, but when we become an adult and grief is on top of that, it's like, oh. But I digress though. I digress. I've just learned though, in the thick of all of this, like I said, feel what you feel when you feeling what you feeling, to understand what it is that you're feeling. We don't always have to label every single emotion every single time, but as long as we know this is what this feel like, now I need to let it out. I am big on a journal. Get a journal, write it down. Go talk to yourself in your mirror if you need to. Pick up your phone and do a video diary if you need to. Let it out. Pray to God. Pray to God. I'm big on that one. Like, I will go to God in a heartbeat about every single thing. Everything. I'm going to God and talk to God about all of it. Allowing, like, I've learned to allow God to be my confidant. I've allowed God to be my source. I've allowed God to be who God is. Baby, I'm quick to say, Lord God, in the name of Jesus. Because, baby, I need God and I need Jesus. Okay? Because I know that I cannot get through this without God, without Jesus. And also, I know that when it comes down to holidays and birthdays and stuff like that, the weight of those emotions can be so intense. And it's like it's constant loop of like, dang, I wish they was here, or this home feel empty because they're not here. I remember this person used to pop up, like my mother. I remember my mom used to pop in the house about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, like, girl, the event, like, it's Thanksgiving, and I know my mom used to show up like 5 o'clock, still ain't cooked the dish that she was supposed to cook, honey. But she gonna come in with a big entrance, loud personality. Anybody that knew my mama was that person that was like, she was just that party person. So it's like when it came down to Thanksgivings and Christmas and family events and stuff like that, it became even heavier for me, because I know that, like, dang, at this time right here, my mama usually be walking in this door, throwing her leg up in the air, like, eh, you feel me? Like, she was that person that was like so wild and so fun and stuff like that, and knowing that, like, dang, that I won't see that no more. Only thing I got is the image in my mind, because I don't even have a video on my phone of my mama doing that. But grief can a lot of times look like mourning that memory, and it's okay to. It is okay to. But I literally learned that, like, continue to go through life. Miss them. It's okay. It's okay to think about them. It's okay to miss them. It's okay to want them around, but don't get stuck in it. I've learned to not get stuck in it. I hear so many people be like, you are so strong, or you can't even tell you've been through what you've been through, or you done lost that many people close to you and stuff like that. And the best thing I can tell anybody, don't wear what you're feeling. Don't wear what you went through. Don't hide it. Or if you hide it, don't hide it from the ones closest to you. Don't hide it from the ones that care about you the most. Definitely don't hide it from yourself, and surely don't hide it from God, because God, it was moments where God literally carried me. I remember this moment after my great grandmother passed away, where it just seemed like my body just levitated, and it was like on a spiritual level though, but it's like, it just seemed as though God just got me and carried me, and it's like I went through a season in 23, at the end of 2023, where I don't remember it. Only thing I know is I was at church on October the 16th. Well, I think it was like 2 weeks before October the 16th, but I was at church, and God nudged my heart, get baptized again. I'm like, you sure, God? But I didn't question it though. I really didn't question it, honestly. But I did it anyway. I got up and decided, you know what, I'm gonna get baptized. I don't know why. I've been baptized before, but I'm gonna get baptized again. And this is a choice of mine. This is a choice that I made. This was, God nudged me, and I moved. When God nudged me, I moved. And that was the best decision that I made, because that wasn't me being forced to follow God, but that was something that I really wanted to do. I wanted the Holy Spirit in my heart and in my body because of a decision that I made. And a few weeks later, I remember, it's like God carried me out of that storm. God carried me out of the situation that I was in. I became just more social and was okay with talking about what I had gone through and what what life was for me in that moment. Because what I learned too is that after those people passed away, after my mom and grandmother them passed away, I became so, it's like I became still. It's like I was in a shock. I was in a trance. Like, who? Like, you can touch me. It's like I'm there, but I'm not there. But God carried me out of that situation. God led me through that. God led me through that. And it wasn't only because God seen where I was, but it was because I cried out to him. It's because I prayed to him. It's because I chose to go to God about this. Because that was the only thing I knew how to do. Because I knew if I went to another person, it's like, you will only tell me what you've been through. You'll only tell me from your own personal experience. And I also can't go to myself for real, because it's like, girl, this is my first time going through this, so I don't know what to do. So I'm about to go to the Father, the Creator. You created me. You allowed me to be in this. You know, this and the third. And God led me out of there. God led me up out of there. And I got to a point where when it comes down to even talking about grief or talking about my mother and stuff like that, due to the fact it had been a constant conversation for me and God, where I'm continuously talking about my mother, talking about the memories. I'm even on the phone with one of my aunts talking about my mother, and she shared something about her mother, you know. And it was that also just being able to tell stories and to share something which created community. So for me as well, like, I learned that community is very, very, very important in every area in life. But I'm talking about grief right here. So in the area of grief though, community is so important. Whether that person is going through the same thing you're going through, or if that person has been through that, community is amazing when you're able to share something with somebody, and neither one of you are afraid of sharing your emotions, sharing your experience, sharing the hole in your heart. Because that's a lot of times what it feel like. For me, when I lost my mom, it felt like I was an orphan. Like, I just felt like I lost my lifeline. I lost that person that I was connected with. I lost that person who brought me into this world. But I've learned though that I may not be able to see her physically, but the fact that my mother can still see me is amazing. And I know that she is right here with me because I choose to carry her in my heart. Her and my great grandmother and my grandmother on my dad's side. Like, I choose to carry them. I choose to allow them to still teach me, to still lead me through this thing called life. I also know that where we are in this day and time of life, and just in this world where everything is so unpredictable, first off, but mainly it's like so many disease and so many things just continuously happening. People are dying younger and younger. I would say, like, if I had to redo or go through that experience again with losing my mother, something I've learned of how I can support others in this, because I also want people who, you may not have just lost somebody, but somebody close to you may have just lost somebody. Or, yeah, I would say be there with them. Sometimes if you don't know what to say, don't say nothing. A hug means the world to some people, okay? The hug means the world to some people. Also, just sending people presents. Parallel play plays a big role in being there with somebody in a season of grief. You may not have to say anything, just being on the phone or checking in with them. But to the ones that may be experiencing any type of grief or have gone through the motion of, or gone through that point in their life where they lost somebody very close to them, no matter who it is, I would say this isn't, once again, feel what you're feeling. Don't be ashamed of what you're feeling. Do not try to be so strong and act as though you can't feel the emotions, because you're only imprisoning yourself. You're anchoring yourself to this emotion, this grief that is, it's not gonna lead you nowhere but into the worst place possible, the darkest place possible. But I would tell anybody though, just keep going. Just keep going. Lean on God. I will tell anybody that, because that's what I know. To lean on God, to allow God to be your support, to allow God to help you out through this moment, throughout this thing called life. I will tell them that that person is watching over you. That person has never left your side. Even if you can't see them, that person has never left your side. That person is shouting at your graduations. That person is cheering for you when you make that big step, that big move, that big career change. When you step out on confidence, when you improve your personality, that person, or character, you improve your character, that person is still proud of you. It's okay to cry. It's okay to weep. It is okay to had an ugly cry. It is okay. Those are needed. Those are needed a lot of times. And don't make, I would tell anybody this though, like, this for anybody else. Do not make people feel like a burden. Don't allow people life and the heaviness or the weight of their life. Don't make them feel bad about it. Don't make them feel bad about it. Please don't make them feel bad about it. About them still grieving, about them still feeling like that, even though it's been 2 years, 3 years, 8 years. Everybody move at different times, at different speeds. Everybody process things way differently. Way differently. Alright, so that technically wraps up this episode. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope y'all learned something. I hope that if you're going through this season of grief, or this your first time having somebody close to you pass away or anything like that, I hope this video helped you. Or even if you have, it's been a while since somebody close to you passed away, and you may still be learning how to process, how to release. I'm gonna talk about healing soon, but I'm gonna also talk about processing and releasing and healing, and just how God just show up and show out in all of this. But I hope that this episode impact at least one person's life, okay? At least one person, okay? But I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you have a blessed day. Lean on God, lean on God, lean on God. Not only when you're in trouble, but when life is amazing. Still, lean on God, go to God, talk to God, enlighten in God, okay? But I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Until next time, take care. Mwah.